We have such an obsession with loudness in this society, if that's what it is. Oh, excuse me. Okay, time to start. 12 noon. Oh, boy. All right, on my count. 1 and a 2
Hey,
and a...
I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe, not, you baby, here's my number, call me, maybe not, hey, I just met you, this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe not, all the other
Girls try to
chase
me.
but here's my number. So
Like
call
this
me. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Fall. He gave me nothing at all. I borrowed steel, and I don't know how I feel. Oh, my jeans was showing. The wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you. And this is crazy. But here's my number. So call me. Maybe not. But here's my number.
Either way is fine,
So
really.
call me maybe
Not.
This is crazy.
I know.
Here's my number.
Okay.
So call me maybe not.
Hate to cut him
Don't
off
try to chase
when he's
me.
on a roll.
But here's my number. So call me maybe not. I miss you so bad. I miss you so bad. I miss you so bad. Before you came to my life, I missed you so bad. How could you? I'd miss you if before you came into my life, because I didn't know you. Here's my number. So call me. Maybe not. Call me maybe not. Call me. Maybe not.
Okay. I think we gave that a good shrift that time. Too often one gives things short shrift. I like to give full shrift. If it comes to that. How are you? Pretty good? Looking good? Of course, I'm looking at myself. And no, you're looking all right, but you're looking good. Nancy, looking very good. Thank you for joining us. And it's like in Fahrenheit 451, you know, when they're doing, they have to all do exercises in front of them. They have a big screen. They had big screen TV then. It was prescient. And they're doing the exercises and stuff, and then if you're not doing them right, then they turns around and says, "What's the matter with you, Nancy?" Or something like that. And we're getting there. We're getting to that point. That's what I'm saying. We're very close to that point. Well, from a house of a guy's own, it's Call Me Maybe Not. CMMN. Easy way to remember it is by those letters. By the way, you can email us here anytime. And once again, I'm using the plural as the royal we. What do you know, 2@gmail.com. Number here to call during the show. I don't know if that thing is running or not. Do you see anything running across the... If you do, look at... Oh, it's really terrible. I forgot to work on... You know, I have so much to do. You wouldn't think so, but I really worked on it. Look, I put up a world map over my big screen from Doctors Without Borders. Isn't that nice? And I put the dart there. It took me about a week to actually hit Madison on the world map there, but you can see it. There it is. There it is, center of the universe. Madison, Wisconsin, Dane County. The prize of Dane County, we like to call it. The jewel in the crown of Dane County, Wisconsin. Number here is 608-256-3029. Excuse me. Or 608-CLOD-0X. I was up, my daughter Ellie took me to Summerfest. It was a last-minute thing because we had gone there once, and then we missed the Tom Petty concert. Just go for Tom Petty. Excuse me. I was screaming. And I said, you have to sing. The thing with a Tom Petty audience is that everyone is singing every song. And, you know, and some better than others. And my daughter, Ellie, is a sweetheart. But, you know, she can very nearly carry a tune. Carry a tune. So, but she's got a lot of enthusiasm. And that made up with, her singing voice probably is made up with enthusiasm by, made up for it. Anyhow, let's see now. This is on this day in herstory, because that's what I do. I am the father of daughters. So I just do herstory from now on. And Elliot's a pledge to you and Nora as well. I'm an honorary female from being the father of daughters. I always thought. This is a good one, though. July 6th, which is today, if in fact you're hearing this today, matters come to a head. This is from the Book of Days by Elizabeth and Gerald Donaldson, by the way, if you can still find it. It's a lovely book. In herstory, Sir Thomas More, the Chancellor of England, was beheaded on July 6, 1535, by Henry VIII for his refusal to sanction the king's marriage to Anne Boleyn. His head was stuck on a pole on London Bridge, right out in the open there, which dismayed his eldest daughter, Margaret. See? Dismayed his eldest daughter, Margaret. This is great history. Margaret really cared. I feel like Ellie would do this for me easily, be dismayed by my head on a pole on a bridge. One day, as she was passing the bridge in a boat and looking on the head, she began to lament. That head has lain many a time in my lap. Would to God it would fall into my lap as I pass under. Whereupon, the story goes, the severed head of her father, did just that and fell into her lap as she sailed past on the skull. The skull still remains in the skull, actually, in her vault in St. Dunstan's Church in Canterbury. So that's on this day in 1535. Bless you, Margaret, and all good daughters especially, but no, great women, of course, and caring women. We could do a shorter show on caring men, I suppose. I don't know. That's not true. I can't. We care a lot. We just don't care to show it. That's the male thing. Oh, so that's understanding history. And then, let's see here. Trump is in Poland. Trump welcomed by cheering, flag-waving supporters in Warsaw. Yeah, they praised the president no end beforehand. They had everything, posters and commemorative glassware, that sort of thing. Many in the crowd, which Warsaw police estimated at 15,000, that's not a huge crowd, frankly. Warsaw is a big town. Said they had come from distant cities and towns in buses, many pulled by horses, organized by the country's populist ruling Law and Justice Party. Hard to vote against law and justice. Let's face it. We are here from our own convictions and beliefs, said Stanislaw Nisin, who traveled from the city of unpronounceable 270 kilometers away. In Poland, unlike many places in Western Europe, many people hold Trump in genuine, because he seems Polish, like from all the jokes. In general admiration for the way he seeks to preserve national traditions and close off borders. Well, Poland borders, they're pretty porous, let's face it. Anytime a German wants to walk through, he does. And anybody else. People are trying to get across, they're trying to get out of Poland, really, is what's happening. It's hard to go the other way. It's not as osmotic. Let's see. He seeks to preserve national traditions, close off borders, out of fear of Islamic extremism. One Polish American in the crowd, Lukas Melrowicz, 67, said he was a Trump supporter above all because he opposes abortion. Okay. Well, that's important, I guess. Trump himself has shifted stances on abortion. Who cares about that? His stance is shifting. Some of the crowd said they like the way Trump and their own leaders are trying to rebuild national industries. Yes, the concentration camp industry, I think, could really stand a shot in the arm. And, Poland is a place to start, and then we can build them here. And anyhow, he actually made a very impressive speech while in Warsaw. And he won the heart. It was sort of like the Ich bin ein Berliner speech, Kennedy did, JFK did, brought him to their feet when he said he was actually a sweet roller. And we were all sweet rolls. A Berliner is a sweet roll. Anyhow, Trump there in Warsaw said, you got him with this one, Jacques Mais Polak Zwane, Wilczek with Pesztek Mijnia, which means, how do you get a Polish person out of the bathtub throwing a bar of soap? And they love that. Because, you know, they can take a joke in Warsaw. They have to. If you're living in Warsaw. Okay, so there's, that goes there. Trump welcome. And so it's an auspicious occasion because Donald Trump wants to make Poland great again. And the last time that happened was in 1791. At its height, as Donald might say. And that was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, which occurred around that time. United the Kingdom of Poland and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. And grand it was in those days. So it became the Commonwealth of Poland and Lithuania, ruled in tandem by the King of Poland, of course, and the Grand Duke of Lithuania. Okay, so they somehow ruled in tandem, and in joint rule, and really a model for the Putin-Trump rule that we are expecting, joint rule. The Polish Commonwealth was the largest, most populous country in Europe, so that was the height of making Poland great. So to reach that again is going to be tough. I don't know if it's possible. What would it take, for example? Well, in those days, it took a marriage. Queen Hedwig of Poland married Grand Duke Jagiello of Lithuania. I guess it was second marriages for both. And he, of course, became King Władysław II Jagiello of really great Poland. This is Poland at its most Polish. Couldn't get any more Poland than it was at that point in history. It was the biggest, the best, the most. Okay, so you fast forward 300 years. Ivanka, after dumping the chump, needs to marry the conveniently single again, Vladimir Putin. So if we could actually marry, it shouldn't be a problem to get rid of what's his name. Give him a few bucks. And send him off. And then she needs to marry Putin. Is it a sacrifice for father? I don't think so. Not for this father. So, and then their offspring will rule the Commonwealth of the United States of Russia with offices in Poland. Perfect. I think so. So, okay, the motto for the Polish-Lithuanian Union was Si Deus nobiscum quis contra nos. If God is with us, then who is against us? A motto should not be a question, it seems to me. But I used to do that at some point. So anyhow, that's my thoughts on making Poland great again. The number here is, if you want to play the quiz or whatever you want to do, or just want to chat, I'd be very happy to chat to you. So it goes down 608 256 3029 or 608 CLOD 0X number to call. And I'll try and put you on the air here. And wonders sometimes do happen. Let's see, my main mix is looking good. I'm thinking, yeah, that's where I'm ready to go there. Okay, that's the number to call. Anyhow, if you don't want to call, I'll just go on with my wonderful ad libs based on some pretty horrible news items. How about jellyfish invasion in Egypt there? Because they widened the Suez Canal and all the jellyfish come in there. So you don't want to go into the water with jellyfish in it. Boy, that's a vacation ruiner, huh? So the Egyptian officials have set up a committee to investigate the jellyfish invasion. So that should take a while. They're still trying to figure out the pyramids. China, you go to a movie in China and they put Jackie Chan doing Communist Party promos. You believe that? this is a little upsetting, that all movies in China, you have to, they're preceded with shorts from the Communist Party, from Central Party. And they're supposed to be very, whatever, they have actresses and actors and stuff. But Jackie Chan is doing this? Does he do the whole thing crashing through a wall and then sliding down all the way down a building on a wire and then ending up in a garbage can bouncing off that for the Communist Party? Tennis fans, this Tomic, this guy, Bernard Tomic, I don't know him. What a jerk, This is the latest biggest jerk on a tennis court. Look at this guy. He got a $15,000 fine, lost his racket sponsor, naturally, after Wimbledon. Unsportsmanlike. He was dropped by his racket sponsor. Which racket was it? It's all a racket. Head. Okay. Not for something he did during his first round loss, but for what he said after. Unsportsmanlike conduct announced 2 days after the 24-year-old Australian was beaten by Misha Zverev, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4. But that's pretty convincing. Then spoke to the media about feeling a little bit bored out there. Tomic also said Tuesday that he just couldn't find any motivation to compete this year. You're at Wimbledon, man. Listen to yourself. And acknowledged that when he called for a medical timeout against Zverev, he did so not because of an injury, but to try to break a bit of momentum. Break the big mo, as the elder Bush used to say. Racket maker Head issued a statement via its Twitter feed on Thursday saying, "We were extremely disappointed with the statements made at Wimbledon by one of our sponsored athletes, Bernard Tomic. His opinions in no way reflect our own attitude for tennis. We're not bored with it. Our passion, just trying to break some momentum. I don't really care. Professionalism and respect for the game." Speaking of respect, and actually he took out his wallet at one point of leaving the court and threw some coins at the foot of the line judge. So that's, I guess, Head is saying they don't feel that same way about throwing coins. That guy on the net there. Because you're going to see him again. It's really a stupid thing, just from a practical point of view. Did I mention the number here is 608-256-3029 or 608-CLOD-0X. Tom Petty was good. That's why I'm sort of, this is not drug related entirely. Anyway, I take because I have a throat's bothering me. I'm taking drug lozenges. Anyway, stop this. I'm not like a guy who interrupts himself when he's talking. That is really an annoying habit. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so what was I saying? Tom Petty, only in America, ladies and gentlemen, a 68-year-old man gets out of the house, goes to Summerfest among the thousands to see a 66-year-old man sing songs like he was a much younger man. Great songs, great man. But now he's almost as old as I am. Tom Petty, that kid with the long hair, looked like a girl, frankly, and a good-looking girl when he was really young. You could know for see him and say, "Whoa." Tom Petty, though, unbelievably talented. Gainesville, Florida. This kid could just amazing. And I think he's one of the best songwriters. He's in the top 10 of American greatest songwriters of all time. I would be that bold to say. And frankly, I don't know what Bob Dylan is. But I know that Tom Petty is. Okay, so did I say 608-256-3029 or 608, you heard that before. Is anyone trying to call? There's a phone line here that I bet if you were trying to call, you might be able to reach it. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not with the phone company. But, aren't we all with the phone company now? We have no choice. But we are. You could win some this Novo coffee I keep talking about. Herb Brodsky and the Brodsky boys, Joe and Jake, started this. They came with a nickel bag in their pocket to Denver, and the kids were just knee-high to a grasshopper. And they came with a very large grasshopper as well to Denver, Colorado, from Madison, Wisconsin. Herb and the boys, and what a great story that is. The backstory on Novo Coffee is great, because Herb's a great guy. Cab driver in Madison. I met him when I was driving cab, and he was driving cab, and we were chasing some of the same women around town. But he was making money at it because he was driving cab. So I drove cab, union cab, and I got to meet her, and that was very cool. And we stayed friends all these years, even though he was a much better cab driver than I. But he was friends with the dispatcher because he would get the good calls. I don't want to go into that. That was a long time ago. Anyhow, and the boys, he went out with the boys there, Joe and Jake, and they went to Denver, Colorado with a nickel bag in their pocket, and they got into the coffee business. And now it is the biggest thing in the world, I think it's fair to say. In this world, Earth world. There may be other worlds, Earth-like worlds, where there's something bigger. But and today we're featuring, if you do play the What Do You Know One for quiz, you'd have to dial that number that I'm not telling you again. If you don't know it by now, I don't care. The one for quiz, one question right, you could win. Today we're featuring Espresso Novo. I think it should be Espresso Brodsky. They should do like Brodsky Boys. Call it One Blend Brodsky Boys. Is what I'm thinking. Anyhow, the origin here is Ethiopia, Colombia, and Panama. Producer is Various. He's very good. I like him. Very good. He's Various. It's a sun-dried and washed. So this is the way it should be done, ladies and gentlemen. You sun-dry it and you wash it. You don't do anything other than that with these things. These are not processed to speak of. The nuances, and I have to admit, though, I drink a lot of Novo coffee because I get it free from Herb fairly often, although he's kind of slowed down on that. Well, he's giving it away to all the people who call in at 608-256-3029 want to play the one for a quiz. Come on. What have you got to lose? If you're, just dial your phone. You're probably looking at your phone. You don't have to be back at work yet. What time is it? It's 12:22, for goodness sakes. You have at least until 12:35. You should be heading back at 12:35 if you're going to make it there by 12:47. Just ahead of who gets in at 1:30. All right, so that's a number to call. Oh, yeah, I was going to say the nuances, because they found in this coffee, I've had this, I would have to say it's delicious. You don't think of a coffee as being delicious. But it's delicious. It's delicious. It's because it delights all your senses. Your taste, your smell. You can almost hear it. And what other senses do we have? Memory. Your memory. It conjures up things. Beautiful things. Things where things are growing, and the coffee, and it's fair traded, and it's in the shade, or it's in the sun, I don't know, whatever they do. They don't do anything else to make this coffee, and they encourage local growers. They're making their own dime on this stuff. Not the Brodsky boys. The Brodsky boys hardly take a dime off it. The nuances: medium body. Okay, I get that. Caramel, blueberry, and banana. Yeah, I had this coffee, and I tried to taste banana in there for the longest time. I know it takes the experienced tongue and taste bud. Where do we really taste? Is it on our tongue, or is it in our brains? I'm sorry, what did you say? 608-256-3029. We're going almost the end of the show here, and I don't get to give away this delicious coffee. Tom Petty jokes. He did well. His songs actually were great. He was tremendous. It was great, and Ellie knew all of them to sing along with very loudly, because I played them all the time. Like I won't back down. Kind of theme song. Now it's Ellie's theme song too, and well, he did change the words. And now he's older, so he says, "I won't sit down because I won't get up." I think he's changed the lyrics a little bit there. But I didn't even realize he was that Jewish. Petty doesn't sound Jewish. Petrovsky, maybe it was originally. I sit down, I don't get up. I won't sit down. All right, so we're just about out of time here. I want to thank you if you, in fact, watched this or listened to it. And I wanted to give you one last chance to call in, just in case there's something I'm doing here that is... No, see? There's a line. There's a line. That could be you on that line. It's fine if you don't want to call. It's called Call Me, Maybe Not. Why do you always choose not? Possibly everyone is on vacation this week. I would hope so. And I know that some people were up north in like Nicolay up there in the woods. I don't know what you're doing up there. I don't think anything's in season. I want to rethink that vacation. In the forest there. Primeval, hey. Okay, and we used to go camping with the kids and that sort of thing, but that, of course, they wouldn't go with us. Nor should they. Anyway, she's in Santiago, and she's not going to. Hey, want to go camping there? We can go to Governor Dodge. We spend 2 nights and get rained out after 1. Yeah, see, we're on our way to Uruguay and then Brazil. And so maybe if I could cut Brazil short by a couple of weeks. And then, I don't know why she sounds like me. That sounds like me talking. It was supposed to be Nora, but the spirit was Nora's. The voice was clearly mine. Anything else here in the news? No. Pretty much a wrap for today's edition of Call Me, Maybe Not. You can also write here, maybe not me. What do you know to at gmail.com. That's a thing you can do there and send us on us. Send all of us here. All of us here, thank you. And I think, today's kind of special. I'm going to go out, I believe, with the theme.
Met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe not. Are you, baby? Here's my number.
See you next time. It'll be next Tuesday and next Thursday.
Maybe not. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. But here's my number. So call me maybe not. All the other girls try to chase me. But here's my number. So call me maybe not. Took a time to fall. You gave me nothing at all. I borrowed steel, and I don't know how I feel. Oh, my jeans was showing, the wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But here's my number, so call me, maybe not. Here's my number. So call me, maybe not. This is crazy. Here's my number. So call me, maybe not. Don't try to chase me.
No.
But here's my number. So call me, maybe not. I miss you so bad. I miss you so bad. I miss you so bad. Before you came
How
to
bad
my
do I
life,
miss you?
I missed you so bad.
So bad.
How could you? I miss you before you came into my life because I didn't know you. Here's my number. So call me. Maybe not. Call me maybe not.